Hey, what's up, y'all? Wyatt the Word Weaver here for another Should You Read. And today we're going to be talking about something very special, something that I'm so excited about. It's a good book. It's a really this is good book. And today we're talking about The Martian by Andy Weir. Alright? Now this is some high quality sci-fi. This is one of my favorite books that I've read in the last 2 years, okay? Now, most of you will know The Martian from the 2015 movie adaptation by Ridley Scott, which is probably one of the best films of that year. It was excellent. Matt Damon starred in it. It was wonderful. I loved it. And it forced me to read this book. And this book is one of the best sci-fi thrillers of all time. I don't think that science fiction is actually the best categorization for this book, because even though it is a fictional story and it is based on science, it's not Star Wars, it's not Star Trek. It doesn't go sling far into the deep realms of what science could do. Alright? It's about what science is now. It's a lot more like a Michael Crichton novel, like Jurassic Park, where it explores something that we're not really capable of doing now, but we'll probably be able to do in like possibly 20 years. So, brief summation of the plot for those who don't know it. This is Mark Watney, alright, our main character. He is part of the third Ares mission to Mars, alright? The third manned mission. And on day 6 of said mission, there is a dust storm, giant 175-mile-an-hour winds, and they are forced to bail. But while during the sandstorm, the antenna off of their base snaps off and it spirals and it hits him in the chest and he goes soaring through the air and he gets knocked out and he's dead. Mark Watney is killed and the crew is forced to abandon his body and get off back into orbit and make their way back to Earth. Only problem is Mark Watney didn't die. The antenna took out his biosensor, so it looked like he had dead. Like he had dead? Is that what we're going with now? Apparently, yes! Okay, so, Mark Watney. He wakes up, and it's day 6, or Sol 6, as they put it, and he's got to figure out how to survive. And the book basically chronicles his attempt to get off of Mars. So, it is told as a series of audio logs. Like, it begins, log entry, Sol 6. I'm pretty much fucked. That's my considered opinion. Fucked. 6 days in what should be the greatest moment of my life, and it turned into a nightmare. So basically, he's doing audio logs. And so he breaks down what he has to do to survive and how he's going to do it. Alright, it's all from his perspective. And what really sells The Martian is this guy, Mark Watney. Okay? Because he is a very interesting character. He's very funny. The humor really carries this. Like, sometimes, he'll just make light of certain situations, like when he uses his waste to help grow potatoes, or, one of the Sol entries just, I wonder how the Cubs are doing. Alright? So, the humor of the situation really helps keep the book snappy, and it stops it from being really bogged down in science babble. Now let's talk about that science babble, because this book is really good at delivering science stuff without making it overly complicated. Alright, because this book and the movie does go into a lot of minutia about how science works. Like when he has to burn oxygen and hydrogen gas in order to get water. Now, you could understand, how the iridium catalyst that he's using works, and you could know the formula for combustion by heart. But you don't need to know that. All you need to do is he does this and this, lights it on fire, boom, and he's got water, okay? And it's demonstrated very easily, and you can see it in the book, and you understand what's going on, alright? In this book, a great thing about The Martian, the reason that I'm recommending that pretty much everyone read it, is no matter whether you are a layman or a hardcore physicist nerd, you can understand what's going on, and it stays interesting, because the stakes are always high. This is this man's life. And they go into so many details about how a space suit works, about how it's actually, not about running out of oxygen, it's about, possibly having too much CO2 that'll kill you. It's about water reclaimers, about how to grow potatoes in soil, because this man, Mark Watney, he is a botanist. He has great botany powers, and he's using that to survive. He's growing potatoes on Mars, all right? And then he's going on expeditions, and he's hooking up rovers, and he's going around craters, and he's finding old tech, and he learns to communicate with NASA, and that's where the other half of this book comes in, because it's not just him, all right? It's mostly him, but it's not just him. The other part of the book is the NASA base camp, who eventually figures out, holy crap, this man is still alive. And they start a public, they gotta go get him. They gotta go, and everyone bands together. We gotta save Mark Watney. So a hardcore strength of The Martian is just how hardcore it is. It is NASA. It is bureaucracy. It is very painstakingly detailed on how NASA works, how they get funding, how the chain of command on missions works, decision-making process, all different scientists, and who gets to be where. How they're going to handle PR. That's a huge thing, because they need to frame everything to the public very well so they can keep getting funding for this mission. And then you have the crew that left him, who has to come back around to get him again. And they're a bunch of hilarious characters. And so there's some really good, actually really dark humor in there from time to time, but it's really nice. And that's what grounds The Martian, all right? On one hand, you have this unflinching dedication to just hardcore, technical, scientific knowledge and working out how you would solve this problem realistically with the technology that we know. If it doesn't exist now, it will exist very soon, right? And then you have the humor that keeps it spicy, keeps it going, all the moving, flowing, and growing, like I do, how I use jokes to lubricate my videos and make sure that I can dress up my, you gotta put a bow on that message, okay, if you want people to understand it. Huey's Law, people. Anyway, and then you have the human characters. Mark Watney, you really get into this guy's head. You learn his fears, you learn his wants. You learn that, yes, he is freaking out and he thinks that he's probably going to die. As long as he has existential crises. But also sometimes he's just hanging out, having fun, and just enjoying himself, going around Mars. I mean, he's got time. So, should you read The Martian? Yes, oh my gosh, yes, yes. If you are interested in thrillers, sci-fi, or science at all, read The Martian. If you're not, it will make you. Okay? The only way I can see you not enjoying The Martian is if you don't like books. And if you don't like books, well, fix your life. Alright? Highly recommended. You can watch the movie before or after. The movie is extremely true to the book. It does cut some stuff out. It cuts out some of the backer parts. It just kind of condenses it. Because this book, things stay interesting. Because basically, in this book, Andy Weir basically keeps up the suspense by making it so that everything that could go wrong does go wrong. So every time he makes some progress, every time that he gets in contact with NASA, something goes wrong and he gets dragged back into the dust. Both the movie and the book are highly recommended. I am putting an Amazon link in the description to where you can buy it. You can pick this up in paperback for like $10. It's published by Del Rey. It's about 430 pages. So, medium-sized read, pretty good. It's breezy, it's fun, it'll last you. I've read it personally like 3 or 4 times and enjoyed every single read, and I'll probably be reading it again. Though, honestly, I would prefer if you would purchase it from your local bookstore, because those people always need to be supported, because, I don't know, bookstores are just great. You go in there, you hang out, you sit down, you read like a Pearl's for Swine Treasury. They're wonderful. Anyway, The Martian is great. It's good. Read it. What's wrong with you? Read it. Read The Martian. 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 Goodbye.